mollusks should have tightly closed shells, and crustaceans should either have the signs of life or they should not have a bad smell. You need 3 tools to cut seafood: a fish filleting knife, a blue-colored chopping board, and your kitchen knife. The 3 cuts of fish that we learnt about are the fillet cut, the darnay or steak cut, and the finger cut. Friends, I believe that you are now ready to conquer the seafood arena. Here are some tips to help you do so. The method of cooking without any sort of liquid is called dry cooking. The food needs to be cooked at a very high heat, at least 180 degrees Celsius. Do you know that brown color that bread gets when you toast it? Food only becomes brown when cooked in dry heat. Dry cooking gives food these delicious smoky flavors and aromas that cannot be achieved by any other method. And health is very important in today's time. Dry cooked food is much healthier than food cooked in oil. Let's look at the different dry methods of cooking. They are baking, broiling, and tandoor cooking. Chef Raj is going to demonstrate each one of them in detail. Baking is basically cooking an item by enveloping it in very hot, dry heat. Ovens are usually used for baking. Baking is usually used to describe cooking breads, pastries, pies, etc. But when meat is cooked in an oven, it is called roasting. Now Chef Raj is going to show you how to bake potatoes. First, you should wash and peel your potatoes as desired. You can even leave the skin on. Just make sure that you get rid of the eyes of the potatoes. Set your oven to 210 degrees Celsius and allow it to preheat. This way, your potatoes can start cooking as soon as you put them in the oven. Now, sprinkle a layer of salt on the tray. You will need a lot of salt, so don't stop until you have half an inch thick layer. Not every vegetable requires salt other than potato. Place your potatoes on the tray and place the tray inside the heated oven. Don't forget to wear your mittens. The oven is very hot. You want to place your tray right in the center of the oven where it is the hottest. The amount of time that your potatoes will take to cook depends upon the size of the potatoes. Small potatoes will only take 20 minutes to cook. Medium-sized ones will be done in about 30 to 35 minutes. Large potatoes will need to bake for around 40 to 45 minutes. Before pulling your tray out of the oven, it is very important to ensure that your potatoes are well cooked. And how do we do that? It's very simple. Just prick the potato with a toothpick or a small knife. If it goes in without any resistance, it means that the potatoes are cooked. But if you have to apply a little pressure, let them cook for another 5 minutes. When the potatoes are done, put on your mittens and retrieve the tray from the oven. Let your potatoes cool down before you touch them. Broiling is cooking the food ingredients on a griddle without using oil or moisture. Since the heat is only exposed on one side, continuous stirring and tossing is required for even cooking. Let's see how Chef Raj broils cumin seeds. You will need a tawa, a flat end ladle, and of course a gas range. Place the tawa on the gas and allow it to get hot. Your tawa needs to be very hot before you add the ingredients, at least 180 degrees Celsius. When the tawa is sufficiently hot, add your spices. You should continuously toss your spices using the ladle. When the spices start browning and emit a roasted aroma, they are cooked. Your broiled food is ready. Our tandoori chicken is a popular dish all over the world. It gets its name from the tandoor in which it is prepared. A tandoor is nothing but a big clay pot oven. Previously, the tandoor would be heated by means of charcoal. But these days, we use electricity and gas. However, coal is still used because it gives the dish a distinct smoky flavor. Using a cloth or mittens to protect your hands, clean the inner edges of the tandoor with a wet cloth. Arrange the food to be cooked in skewers like so. Here, Chef Raj is using chicken, but you can use a variety of food in the tandoor. Place the skewers carefully in the tandoor and close it with the lid. You have to periodically check on the food. Once you obtain the desired color on one side, rotate the skewers to ensure that all sides are evenly cooked. Once the food is completely cooked, remove the skewers from the tandoor and plate the food as per the requirements of the dish. Doesn't that look delicious? As you already know, cooking with dry heat involves very high temperatures. I have some tips for you that will help you stay safe. So listen closely. Always wear protective gloves or mittens while dealing with the oven or tandoor. Avoid making heavy trays. You should be able to carry your trays easily. Squashing all your food on a single tray will not only make taking it out of the oven more risky, but your food also might not cook properly. So let's summarize what we have learned. Dry cooking is beneficial because it brings out smoky flavors of the food and it is healthier than cooking with oil. And I hope you remember the 3 methods of dry cooking: baking, broiling, and tandoor cooking. Using fat is a very important and versatile medium of cooking. You must know how to cook with fat correctly to get the desired results. If you overdo it, people will notice that the food is too oily. Mediums of fat include all kinds of oils, hydrogenized unsaturated fats like dalda, animal fats like lard, etc. Today, we will learn the 3 different methods that are popular when cooking with a medium of fat. They are roasting, grilling, and frying. Frying further has 2 methods: shallow frying and deep frying. I'm sure you have heard the term roasted like a chicken. And roast chicken is one of the most popular dishes in the world. So what exactly is meant by roasting? Well, roasting is a method of cooking with the help of dry heat. But when you want the cooked food to be tender and moist, you coat it with oil.
This is called basting.
Let's take a look at the equipment you will need to roast meat. A roasting tray, an oven, safety gloves, and a thermometer. It's ready, so why wait? Let's start to roast. To begin, take a roasting tray. Grease it with oil. Not too much, just enough so that the meat does not stick to the tray while roasting. Place the marinated meat in the greased roasting tray and place the tray in the oven. But don't open the oven doors too often. You don't want the temperature to fluctuate too much. When the meat is cooked and the oven bell rings, use your safety gloves while doing so. The tray is very hot.
Check for doneness by inserting a cooking thermometer.
And there you have it, roasted chicken. Don't you just love a grilled chicken? I know I do, but how exactly do we grill? Grilling is when a source of radiant heat is placed under the food being cooked. Usually, only small items are grilled. A whole chicken is never grilled. It is always cut into smaller parts which are then grilled. Let me show you how to grill chicken. But before you can start, you will need a pair of tongs and finally, a griller, the most important tool. Let's see how to grill a chicken. First, place the food on the grill. Keep turning the food as required to ensure it gets cooked evenly. And your grilled chicken is ready. Parathas are yummy, aren't they? They make the perfect breakfast for a typical Indian family. But what is the technique used to make them? Don't know? It's okay. That's what I'm here for. The technique is called shallow frying. Similarly, many other food items are shallow fried. For example, fish, paneer, prawns, etc. Today's chef will be teaching us how to shallow fry paratha. To shallow fry paratha, you will need a pair of tongs, flat end spoons, squeezy bottles with oil, a tawa. To make shallow fried paratha, first you must place the frying pan on the gas range. Heat it till the temperature is approximately 180 degrees Celsius. Add 2 tablespoons of oil. Season and grease the frying pan using an onion. This is the traditional method. The other method is to use salt and onion to remove impurities. This avoids sticking of food to the frying pan. Cook till you get the desired level of browning. Turn it over once or twice to ensure even cooking and browning. And remember, the presentation side is always cooked first. And that's it. Your food is now shallow fried and ready to eat. Let's now get to the last and most frequently used method of cooking with fat: deep frying. Deep frying is a very popular method that requires the food to be completely immersed in oil at 165 to 180 degrees Celsius. It gives the food a lightly crunchy crust and a soft interior. Think of yummy foods like pakoras, potato vadas, and samosas, and you'll know exactly what deep fried food looks and tastes like. To deep fry a food item, you will need a deep fat fryer, a kadhai or a deep pan, frying spoons, a pair of tongs, a thermometer. Now to deep fry French fries. You must first heat the oil to a temperature of 165 degrees Celsius. When the oil is hot enough, place the ingredients gently in it to avoid splashing. If you're frying in a kadhai, stir the items as and when required. On the other hand, if you're using a deep fat fryer, no stirring is required. When the food attains the desired color, in case of a deep fryer, remove the basket by holding the handles provided. Your food is now ready to be served. Enjoy it as you like. You now know how to cook using fat with these 5 basic methods. But since you are working with hot oil, you must always be very careful when you handle it. You must never deep fry ingredients like cucumber, tomatoes, etc. that have high water content. The water in these foods will make the hot oil splash and burn those near it. Do not sprinkle water in hot oil to check its temperature. This may cause a fire. Always use a thermometer to know the correct temperature of the oil. You must always put some salt on spilt oil. And you must always tell the whole kitchen about the spill so that further accidents are avoided. Okay, while chef directs his colleagues, let me take you through the steps. The first method that we're going to learn today is boiling. I'm sure that all of you are familiar with boiling. It is the most effective way to kill germs in water. Well, it's also an excellent way to cook food. Let's see how chef boils eggs. To start boiling, you will need a saucepan, perforated spoon. You will also need a gas range. First, place the saucepan on the gas. Fill a saucepan with water. Don't fill it right to the top, or your water will bubble over. Ideally, 3/4 of the saucepan should be full. And let it sit until it begins to boil. You will see small bubbles appearing on the surface of the water when the boiling process is about to begin. Sprinkle a little salt in the saucepan. Salt brings up the boiling point of water and hence delays the boiling. Place the ingredients in the boiling water. Check your boiling food from time to time to see if it is cooked. You should look out for indicators like a browned surface, good aroma, and smoke coming from the food. In case of egg, only time is the indicator. Once the food is cooked, it can be used for various purposes. Well, so now you know how to boil food. All of you have probably eaten idlis at some point of time. Did you know that idlis are cooked with water vapor? This method is called steaming. It is a very healthy way to cook, so pay close attention as chef shows us how to steam food. Steaming requires some special equipment called a steamer. This is a steamer. You start by filling your steamer with water. Place it on the gas until you see steam appearing from it. Add the food that you want to cook in the trays of the steamer. Now it's just a matter of waiting until your food is done. Rice needs to steam for only 10 to 15 minutes. Take the steamer off the heat and take out your ingredients carefully. That's all it takes to get the perfectly steamed food. Stewing is a cooking method in which food items are partially immersed in liquid and kept to simmer for a very long time. Although it is time-consuming, stewing is useful for cooking large joints of meat that are hard to cook in any other method. Let's see how chef prepares a stew. You will need the following equipment: a pot, a wooden spoon, and a gas range. Place the pot on the gas. Add butter, onions, carrots, cabbage, potatoes, lamb chunks, and saute till vegetables start sweating. Fill it with water till ingredients are partially submerged. Add herbs and spices to infuse in the liquid and flavor your food. Remove the scum as it arises. Cook till the meat is cooked, or 1.5 hours. Braising is a combination of two methods of cooking, roasting and stewing. It is used to cook meat that is mature and not very tender. The dual combination of dry and liquid cooking helps to tenderize the meat and make it chewable. You will need the following equipment: an oven, a pair of tongs, a fork, a thermometer, a roasting tray, a griddle or tawa, and of course, a gas range. Heat the griddle, put the lamb leg on it. Now, their surface looks brown and caramelized. This technique is called searing. Transfer the lamb leg off the heat and rearrange them in the roasting tray. In a roasting tray, add root vegetables for flavor. Preheat the oven as required and place the pan inside the oven. Roast the food until it is well cooked. Your braised food is ready. Cooking food in boiling water can make it tough or cause it to disintegrate. To ward off these problems, there is a method known as poaching. Poaching is a method of cooking in which food items are cooked over low heat in gently simmering water. The water's temperature should be around 92 degrees Celsius. For poaching, you will need these tools. Let's get started. A saucepan, a fry spoon, a pair of tongs, a gas range, keep the gas on low, place your poaching tray or saucepan filled with water. Now add the main ingredient. But be careful. Make sure that it does not touch the base of the tray or saucepan. Keep cooking the food on a low simmer. Avoid stirring the food and turning it around too much. Now you know how to poach food. Let's go over the various methods of cooking using the medium of liquid. Boiling is the method of cooking food in boiling hot water. Steaming is the method of cooking food with water vapor. Stewing is a slow method of cooking food over gentle simmering heat. Braising is a combination of stewing and roasting. Poaching is a method in which food items are cooked over low heat in gently simmering water. What was the cause of chef's angry outburst? We'll step back a couple of hours and see what happened with the young chef.
I have an order for table number 3. Who's taking table 3? Tell me quickly.
I am.
Okay, here's all. Listen carefully. It's given a lot of instructions. While aloo tikka with plain curd and chopped onions on the side, and it should be prepared only in olive oil. Got it?
Yeah. Got it. It'll be ready in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, look how distracted the cook was. How can you expect him to remember such a detailed order if he was that distracted? No wonder he goofed it up. Let's see what happened next.
Here's your food, ma'am. Enjoy your meal.
Thank you so much. Waiter, please come here.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to talk to the manager or the head waiter right now. What is this?
Ma'am, is there anything I can help you with? What's the problem?
It's totally nonsense. I had asked this dish to be prepared in olive oil and not in peanut oil. Top of that, it's totally undercooked. And where is the curd and the chopped onions? Instead, you have given me ketchup. Please take it back and fix it. Otherwise, I'll never come back to this restaurant. Please take it.
I'm sorry about this. We'll sort it out as soon as we can.
You better.
Oh, one mistake by the cook got so many people into trouble. And all this could have been avoided had the cook been carefully listening to the order and not just hearing. What's the difference between listening and hearing? Aren't they one and the same? They are definitely not the same. Hearing is just the act of perceiving sounds or letting sound travel into your ear. Whereas listening is the act of consciously choosing to understand what is being said. This requires focus and comprehension. According to popular research, good listening skills make people more productive in their line of work. Let's look at the same scene but with the cook listening and then preparing the order.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I talk to the manager right away?
Sorry, ma'am, but the manager is on his rounds and will be back in 15 minutes. Is there anything I can help you with?
Actually, I just wanted to say the dish is excellent.
Oh.
And please inform this to the kitchen. I shall convey this to the manager before I leave. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I will.
There you see the result of listening. The ability to listen well allows you to understand your assignments better. It also helps you to build a rapport with your colleagues and superiors. Apart from this, it improves teamwork. And in a hectic environment like a commercial kitchen, this is an absolute must. Finally, good listening skills will help you avoid problems or resolve them if they arise during the course of your work. In order to master this skill and avoid any such fiascos, follow these guidelines. To start with, you must always concentrate on the person who is speaking to you. Do not be distracted by small things in your surroundings. Set aside your work for some time to listen with full concentration. Also, interrupt as little as possible. It is not enough to just listen to the words that flow out of the person's mouth and be done with it. Their speaking will not make a difference if you did not grasp the gist of the order. Be well versed with kitchen jargon to understand the order. Write it down if you think it is too detailed to remember completely. If you do not understand what the waiter said or if the order does not make sense, ask him to repeat it. If you are still confused, ask your seniors for help. It is not a sign of weakness or dumbness to ask for help. What's the difference between listening and hearing? Aren't they one and the same? They are definitely not the same. Hearing is just the act of perceiving sounds or letting sound travel into your ear. Whereas listening is the act of consciously choosing to understand what is being said. This requires focus and comprehension. According to popular research, good listening skills make people more productive in their line of work. Let's look at the same scene but with the cook listening and then preparing the order.
Excuse me,
Yes, ma'am.
can I talk to the manager right away?
Sorry, ma'am, but the manager is on his rounds and will be back in 15 minutes. Is there anything I can help you with?
Actually, I just wanted to say the dish is excellent.
Oh.
And please inform this to the kitchen. I shall convey this to the manager before I leave. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I will.
There you see the result of listening. The ability to listen well allows you to understand your assignments better. It also helps you to build a rapport with your colleagues and superiors. Apart from this, it improves teamwork. And in a hectic environment like a commercial kitchen, this is an absolute must. Finally, good listening skills will help you avoid problems or resolve them if they arise during the course of your work. In order to master this skill and avoid any such fiascos, follow these guidelines. To start with, you must always concentrate on the person who is speaking to you. Do not be distracted by small things in your surroundings. Set aside your work for some time to listen with full concentration. Also, interrupt as little as possible. It is not enough to just listen to the words that flow out of the person's mouth and be done with it. Their speaking will not make a difference if you did not grasp the gist of the order. Be well versed with kitchen jargon to understand the order. Write it down if you think it is too detailed to remember completely. If you do not understand what the waiter said or if the order does not make sense, ask him to repeat it. If you are still confused, ask your seniors for help. It is not a sign of weakness or dumbness to ask for help. Well, do you know what stock is? I'll tell you anyway. Stock is flavored water that gets its flavor, nutrition, and color from the nature of ingredient used to make it. Stock is different from broth because all the solid ingredients are removed from the water after simmering for some time. This leaves a clear, highly flavored liquid that has the characteristic essence of all the flavoring agents used. Ingredients used to prepare various stocks include vegetables, chicken bones, fish bones, beef bones, etc. Stocks are crucial elements for soups, sauces, braise, and stew. These, when made gently, could create wonders in the taste of food. Sounds like a good food trick to know, right? That's why we're here today. Let's begin our stock making process by looking at the required ingredients. You will need some aromatic vegetables like celery, onions, carrots, and such. Some herbs like basil, sage, rosemary, and thyme, among others. Liquids like water, wine, or oil for the base. And spices such as cardamom, cinnamon, fenugreek, and cumin. And let us not forget the tools or equipment that you will need to prepare a great stock. A stock pot to make the stock in, a gas range to heat the stock, a conical strainer to separate the solids from the liquid stock, and a muslin cloth to remove the finer particles and make the stock clear. Now that you know what you will need to make a stock, let us proceed with learning how to make white stock. But first, do you know what a white stock is? Don't worry, I will tell you. White stock is a clear and relatively colorless stock made by simmering vegetables, poultry bones or fish bones in a liquid medium. Next, our beloved chef will show you all exactly how to make a white stock using vegetables. Light the gas range and place the stock pot on it. Add water, vegetables and herbs. Add carrots, turnips, onions, celery, leeks, peppercorns, bay leaf, thyme. These herbs will differ from stock to stock. Bring the stock to a boil. Simmer for 2 hours after the liquid starts boiling. Keep removing the scrum that gathers at the top with the help of a ladle. Next, take the muslin cloth and place it inside the conical strainer. Wet it a little and then strain the stock through it. You can now store or use the stock as required. If the stock is to be stored for further use, wait till it has cooled. Then store it in the refrigerator or the deep freezer as required. Awesome! Now you know how to make the perfect white stock. But there are some pointers that you must always keep in mind when you prepare a stock. No stock should ever be left to boil. This will ruin its texture. You must never cover the stock pot when the stock is simmering. Never add salt to any stock preparation. Never use green leafy vegetables in a stock. All the scrum that is formed as a layer over the stock liquid should be immediately removed with the help of a ladle. Do not stir the stock once it starts to simmer. When using stored stock, always remember to remove the accumulated fat at the top. What is brown stock, you ask? Well, brown stock is flavored water made with the bones of veal, beef and lamb. It has a distinct amber color made by first browning the bones and aromatic vegetables and followed by adding water. Brown stock needs to be cooked for a very long time. The duration could be anywhere between 4 hours to overnight. Sounds like hard work, doesn't it? Well, I'm here to make it easier for you. To make a good brown stock, you will need the following ingredients: some aromatic vegetables like carrots, celery, and leeks, lamb bones, some herbs like thyme and rosemary. For the base, you may use liquids like water, red wine, or oil, depending on purpose. This, along with some spices such as bay leaves and black pepper, make for a good stock. And let's not forget the tools or equipment that you will need to prepare a great stock. You will need a stock pot, a gas range, a chinois, a ladle, roasting trays, an oven, a pair of tongs, and a pair of safety gloves. Now it's time for us to learn how to prepare a brown stock. And what better way than to learn from the master chef himself? Anyway, let's move on. To begin, arrange the bones on large roasting trays and place them in the oven until they are nice and evenly brown. Make sure you do this well because these brown bones give the stock the color after which it is named. Light the gas, put the stock pot and add oil. While the bones are browning, put your aromatic vegetables in a stock pot and let them simmer until brown. Add chopped shallots, leeks, celery, turnips, peppercorn, add a splash of red wine to this. Remove the browned bones from the oven and add them to the stock pot. Pour water into the stock pot until all the bones are submerged. Bring the concoction up to a boil. Lower the heat and allow the pot to simmer on it. You can leave it for as long as possible, but make sure that it simmers for at least 4 hours. You need to look into the pot from time to time. This is because the various impurities in the stock all rise up to the surface from time to time. Remove these impurities or scum with a ladle. Now, when the stock is in its last hour of simmering, add in trimmings of veal, lamb, or beef. Like I said before, every scrap of food is valuable in the kitchen. When your stock has cooked for the desired amount of time, strain the stock with it. Now, all you have to do is put the stock in a jug and use it whenever you need. But remember that you need to skim off the fat that develops on the surface before using it. Now that you are well versed in the preparation of both brown and white stocks, let's look at the various precautions one more time. Hey, don't complain. After all, it's better to be safe than sorry. Remember to never let your stock boil. Don't cover the stock pot while the stock is simmering, or it will not reduce. Never add salt to your stock. Never use green leafy vegetables in a stock. All the scum that is formed as a layer over the stock liquid should be immediately removed with a ladle. Do not stir the stock once it starts to simmer. When using stored stock, always remember to remove the fat accumulated at the top. Today you will be learning to prepare clear soups. What are clear soups, you might ask? I'll tell you. Clear soups, as the name suggests, are visibly clear. They are made from their respective stocks. Do you remember what stock is? That's right. It is clear, differently flavored water used for preparing broths and soups. Clear soups are all prepared in the same manner, whether from poultry, fish, shellfish or vegetables. Careful cooking and clarification helps in achieving a clear soup, though not all soups require clarification. Clear soups are light in nature and consistency. Some examples of clear soups are consommé and broth. These soups are also called thin soups. Knowing the definitions of a clear soup doesn't seem enough though. We'll need to know how to make a clear soup. Okay, now that you know what clear soups are, let us learn from chef himself how to prepare his favorite consommes. But what exactly are consommes? Consommes are a subcategory of clear soups. They are usually prepared using meat, poultry or fish stocks. Consommes are always clarified. Clarification of soups involves removing any unwanted impurities and solid particulate matter to make the soup clear. Consommes are sometimes thickened with tapioca. They normally include a light garnish, which often determines the naming of the soups. Consommes may be served hot or cold. Let's have a quick look at the salient features of a good consommé. Good to know that you are now aware of what a consommé is. Next, to prepare a consommé, you will need certain tools and pieces of equipment. Here is what you will need: a stock pot to prepare the soup in, a wooden spoon to stir the soup, a gas range, a conical strainer, a muslin cloth. You will also need a few ingredients to get the taste of the consommé just right. What you'll need is some ground meat, mirepoix cuts of carrots, celery, leeks and turnips, some egg whites, egg shells, some aromatic herbs like thyme and parsley, cold brown stock. Just so you do not forget all the requirements, check if you have everything. To prepare the perfect consommé, you must first light the gas range and place the stock pot on it. Now add the cold brown stock
Add the ingredients.
and whisk vigorously. The whisking helps to mix two or more ingredients so that they are well blended and do not stick to the bottom of the vessel. Continue whisking till the soup starts to boil. After the soup starts to boil, simmer and check if a raft is formed. A raft is a floating flat structure which is formed because the egg protein binds all the impurities together. This structure should not be disturbed. Remove gently with the help of a wooden spoon. Simmer till the soup achieves the desired consistency.
Strain the soup ladle by ladle.
Once that is done, your consommé is ready to be served. I really wish we could taste this stuff. It looks very yummy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we come to the next phase of our discussion on sustainable development. To take a case in point, nowadays, when they design an IIT or an IIM, there is a huge discussion